The Force trembled within him, unpredictable, alive, warning him. Night after night, Anakin Skywalker saw the same images. Coruscant in flames, the Jedi Temple burning, and himself, clad in black armor, standing beside a throne shrouded in darkness. The face beneath the hood was always the same, Chancellor Palpatine. Anakin awoke drenched in sweat, his mechanical hand trembling. Every instinct screamed that these were not dreams. They were visions, truths the Force allowed him to witness. Yet the Council dismissed them as emotional echoes, warnings of attachment. Obi-Wan urged patience, but patience no longer satisfied Anakin. He had seen too much. Driven by desperation, he began to piece together Palpatine's rise. The votes, the trade disputes, the subtle manipulation of both Senate and Jedi. The pattern was too perfect, too controlled. He realized for the first time that the galaxy's fate had been shaped long before the Clone Wars began. In the archives, Anakin uncovered ancient texts on forbidden Force rituals, techniques that could bend time through will and sacrifice. To change what must not be, one warning read, is to risk becoming what you fear. But the more he thought of Padme, of the thousands who would die in the coming war, the more his resolve hardened. As lightning cracked outside the temple, Anakin stood before the holocron chamber. "If the Force shows me the future," he whispered, "then I will rewrite it." The light flared, energy swirling violently around him. His last thought before vanishing was a Palpatine's smug smile and his promise to end it before it began. When the storm faded, the chamber was empty. Somewhere in time, the Chosen One had just broken the natural order of the Force. The air of Coruscant felt different, quieter, cleaner, untouched by war. Anakin stepped from the shadows of a landing platform. Cloaked and hooded, his presence masked within the Force. He was years before his own time, in a galaxy still believing in peace. But he knew better. Somewhere within these shining towers, the Sith Lord was already moving his pieces. His search began in the Senate archives. Late at night, he infiltrated data vaults, reviewing sealed records of Naboo's elections and emergency votes. The deeper he dug, the more the truth emerged. Every crisis, every debate, subtly shifted in favor of one man, Senator Palpatine. Days turned into weeks. Disguised as a mercenary, Anakin watched Palpatine's movements from afar, his gentle voice, his feigned humility, his calculated patience. Behind every kind word, Anakin saw the same manipulation that had once broken him. "He's already starting," he muttered, "and no one sees it." In the lower levels of Coruscant, Anakin tracked a lead to the Sith. A stolen holocron confirmed his worst fear. The dark side surrounded Palpatine, cloaking him from the Jedi entirely. Even Yoda's perception would have failed against it. Fury burned within him. He wanted to storm the Senate chambers, ignite his saber, and end it all. But one wrong move could destroy the timeline before he had the chance to change it. Instead, Anakin planned his next step, to gather evidence, expose Palpatine before he could ever reach the Chancellor's seat. Yet as he turned to leave, a shadow stirred behind him. A cloaked figure whispered through the Force, "You do not belong here, Skywalker." Anakin froze. The sound of that voice, ancient, cold, and familiar, confirmed what he feared. The Sith already knew he had come. The Jedi Council chamber was silent, heavy with doubt. Holograms of distant masters flickered in the misted light as Anakin's voice echoed through the hall. "He's already among us," he said. "The Sith Lord you seek, he's in the Senate. He's manipulating the Republic from within." Mace Windu's gaze hardened. "You claim to know this, yet offer no proof." "I've seen it," Anakin replied. "Not in a dream, through the Force itself." Yoda closed his eyes. "Visions, clouded they are. Trust them, we cannot." Anakin clenched his fists. "They don't understand. They never will." The Council's calm restraint felt like betrayal. How could they preach patience while the galaxy prepared to burn? When his plea was dismissed, something inside him broke. That night, Anakin returned to the archives alone. He moved with purpose, silent, determined, as though destiny itself guided his steps. Within the restricted vaults, he found it. The Kithira holocron, an ancient device said to reveal paths lost to time. As the holocron unfolded, Light surrounded him in a swirling pattern of symbols and stars. The air crackled with the sound of the Force itself, resisting his will. To change time is to defy balance, the echoes warned. But he no longer cared about balance. He cared about saving everyone, Padme, the Jedi, the Republic. He drew a deep breath and stepped into the storm of light. The temple trembled, alarms flaring as reality bent. Masters across Coruscant felt the disturbance, Anakin Skywalker's presence vanishing into Force. In the blinding surge of energy, his final words whispered through time itself. "If the Council won't stop the Sith, then I will." Coruscant pulsed with anticipation. Banners of 1,000 systems shimmered above the Senate Dome as the galaxy awaited the election of its next Supreme Chancellor. In the crowd, none knew that the fate of the Republic balanced on the edge of a single lightsaber. Hidden in the shadows of the Senate corridor, Anakin watched Palpatine glide past, surrounded by loyal aides. The senator's soft voice carried calm authority, every gesture precise, rehearsed. Yet through the Force, Anakin felt it. The darkness coiled beneath his words. "This is it," Anakin whispered. "This is where it begins." He gathered everything, records, transmissions, and proof of secret deals orchestrated by Palpatine's unseen allies. But every path to justice was blocked. The Senate adored him. The Jedi refused to intervene, and time itself offered no second chances. The only way to stop the darkness was to face it directly. That night, under the glow of the Senate spire, Anakin confronted him. Palpatine turned slowly, as if expecting him. "You shouldn't be here, my boy," he said with eerie familiarity. "You've come too far. You fooled the galaxy long enough," Anakin growled, igniting his saber. "Not this time." Palpatine's eyes gleamed yellow for a single, terrifying instant. Lightning erupted from his fingertips, arcing across the chamber. Anakin's blade caught at midair, the clash of light and dark shattering windows and alarms. For the first time, Darth Sidious realized his future was no longer certain. As the fight tore through the Senate chamber, the election began above them. And as Anakin struck, the galaxy's destiny began to fracture. One vote, one duel, away from a rewritten future. The clash of blue and red light ignited the heart of the Senate. Holo recorders flared to life as alarms screamed through the dome. Senators poured from their chambers in confusion, staring down at the sight of a young Jedi locked in combat with one of their most respected leaders. Palpatine's face twisted with rage, the Sith facade breaking apart as his lightning split the marble floor. "You cannot stop what's already begun, Skywalker," he roared. "I am the Republic." Anakin met him blow for blow, forcing Sidious backward with raw fury. "Then the Republic dies with you," he shouted. Sparks rained from the shattered platform as Palpatine's cloak burned away, revealing the withered, unnatural skin beneath. The gasps of the senators echoed like thunder. Guards rushed forward but froze in horror as the truth unfolded before them. Palpatine, cornered and desperate, unleashed a storm of dark energy that ripped through the chamber. Anakin's blade caught at midair, deflecting the lightning into the hollow projectors. The entire Senate witnessed the transformation. Darth Sidious, the phantom menace behind their wars, exposed to the galaxy at last. As the storm ended, Palpatine fell to one knee, his voice trembling with venom. "Foolish boy, you've doomed everything." Anakin raised a saber for the final strike, but a burst of crimson energy hurled him across the floor. The Force trembled as the Sith Lord vanished into the shadows of the collapsing chamber, his laughter echoing through the halls. Senators screamed. Jedi Masters arrived, and the galaxy reeled in disbelief. Anakin stood alone amid the ruins, his heart pounding with both triumph and dread, knowing the Republic had seen the truth, but the war for its soul had only just begun. In the hours following Palpatine's exposure, the galaxy erupted. HoloNet channels replayed the footage endlessly. Anakin Skywalker, a rogue Jedi, dueling the most powerful politician in the Republic and revealing him as a Sith. The Senate floor, once a place of order, now burned with fear and fury. Worlds loyal to Palpatine's reforms accused the Jedi of treason, calling the confrontation a political coup. Others demanded vengeance against anyone who had supported the Chancellor's rise. Within days, the Republic began to fracture. Systems declared independence. Fleets mobilized and old alliances collapsed. Anakin stood before the council again, no longer a knight, but a fugitive hero. "You wanted proof," he said bitterly. "Now the entire galaxy has it." Yoda's expression was grim. "Change the future, you have, but balanced uncertain it remains." Across Coruscant, the Force rippled violently. Time itself seemed to distort. Records shifted, memories flickered, and beings sensed a universe that no longer aligned with what they remembered. Anakin's mind reeled with flashes of unfamiliar battles, altered fates, and worlds that should not exist. He saw himself leading legions not in the Clone Wars, but against an entirely new threat, one rising from the Outer Rim, where power vacuums had birthed chaos. The death of Sidious had not saved the galaxy, it had unleashed it. Standing at the temple window, Anakin whispered, "I stopped him, but the war still came." A thunderous tremor shook the city as reality convulsed once more. Jedi Masters fell to their knees as the Force screamed in pain. In that moment, Anakin understood, time had not healed the galaxy, it had rewritten it. And somewhere in the shadows, another darkness was already beginning to rise. The council chambers were quieter than ever before. The once vibrant hum of discussion had been replaced by uncertainty and doubt. Holograms of distant systems flickered across the room. Reports of civil wars, rogue fleets, and entire star sectors breaking away from Coruscant's control. "The Republic is dying," Mace Windu said flatly. "Without leadership, systems are turning to warlords." Yoda's ears lowered. The Sith revealed, yet peace undone, the balance. Still lost it is. Anakin stood before them, weary but defiant. "We did what was right. Palpatine's reign ended before it began. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Protect the future?" "The future," Obi-Wan said quietly, "isn't what it was." The Force around him felt unstable, alive in strange and unpredictable ways. Jedi across the galaxy reported visions of events that never happened. Battles fought and lost, apprentices that no longer existed. The flow of destiny had splintered, and every attempt to understand it only deepened the chaos. Outside the temple, riots filled the streets. Civilians hurled accusations of tyranny, blaming the Jedi for disrupting galactic order. Armies once loyal to the Republic now acted independently, guided by ambition instead of law. And from the Outer Rim came whispers of a coalition rising from the wreckage of the old Confederacy, armed with forbidden technology and a new banner of conquest. Anakin felt it before the others did. A disturbance in the Force, vast and cold, like the breath of something ancient awakening. He turned toward the skyline, eyes narrowing. "Something's coming," he murmured. "Something we never fought before." The Masters exchanged uneasy glances as the temple lights dimmed. The Force shuddered once more, warning them that the true war for the galaxy had only just begun. The temple stood in ruins. Once the heart of peace and wisdom, it now lay silent beneath the weight of uncertainty. Anakin walked its shattered halls, the echo of his footsteps the only sound that remained. The Force felt colder now, distant, as though it no longer recognized him. He had done it. He had stopped Palpatine, saved the Republic, and unmasked the Sith before their empire could rise. But as he looked upon the galaxy, he saw only chaos. Fleets warred without purpose. Jedi hunted by those they once swore to protect. And far beyond the core, something darker stirred. A force untouched by time, drawn to the fracture he created. Obi-Wan approached him among the fallen pillars. "You wanted to change the future," he said quietly. "But at what cost?" Anakin turned away, his eyes hollow. "I thought saving one life would save them all. I was wrong." Visions flooded his mind. Padme's smile fading, worlds collapsing under new banners, and legions of soldiers marching under symbols he didn't recognize. History was rewriting itself, and the more he resisted it, the more it slipped through his grasp. In meditation, he reached out through the Force one last time, and found nothing. No balance. No destiny. Only the echo of his own defiance. The power that had once guided him was gone, replaced by a chasm of silence. As thunder rolled across Coruscant sky, Anakin looked to the stars, knowing the storm was only beginning. Somewhere in that shifting darkness, a new shadow was rising, one born not from Palpatine's will, but from his own. Anakin closed his eyes, whispering to the void, "Maybe the Force wasn't meant to be changed." The wind answered him with silence.